Gen Z, my generation, is completely obsessed with locking in, which is funny, because no one does it right. How many times have you heard people say they're going to lock in, and what do they actually achieve after it? Can you actually measure what they've done? Have they changed as a person? Maybe you've said this yourself, you're going to quit social media, you're going to go to the gym more, but how long does it actually last before you slip back into old ways? So locking in doesn't work, but luckily I have a better option, a bulletproof system that works for anyone. It's a 3-step system to actually get what you want out of life, and the last step is the most important. Step number 1 is that you have to be on your purpose. Purpose sounds really obscure. What does that actually mean? Here's how you find your purpose. Write down 3 things that you can do in the next 6 months to improve your life as much as possible. For example, going to the gym consistently, reading every day, and getting a good friendship group. These are the things that are going to give you the best life. So for the next 6 months, this is your main priority. Now we have goals, we need to set systems to achieve these things. What we need to do is identify the habits with the highest return on investment. Basically the things you're going to do which actually gives you the results. So for building a great body, the highest ROI, return on investment, is going to the gym. There's lower ROI things we can do like watching fitness videos and getting the right supplements and buying protein powder. You can do that stuff if you have time, but it doesn't matter at all if you're not doing the highest ROI things. So because they're the most important things, nothing comes before them. You don't change your schedule for anyone. When you're going to the gym, you go. If you want to read more, you buy a book that you're interested in, you have it right next to you, and you make it so that you can read it at a specified time, so before bed or during the day, and you make it easy and frictionless to do. Because you've specified that these are your goals, you should wake up thinking about this thing, thinking, how can I get better at it? If something is holding you back, you write about it and you think, what can I do to eliminate this roadblock that's making this thing harder to do? For these habits, use a habit tracker. Either make one physically or get one on your phone. Whenever you do the habit, give it a tick. And try and do these habits as consistently as possible. What sort of goals should you actually set to improve your life? Well, it's usually the ones that are uncomfortable, scary, or feel like they're out of reach for you. For most people, if you said you have to have a boxing fight in 6 months, they'd be terrified and it would seem like too much. However, it's something exactly like this which is going to mold you, because you need to have so much discipline and you're going to have a fire under your ass if you know that you've got to fight someone in a few months, and it's going to really drive home the point that you need to be doing training regularly every day. It's easy with physical goals because there's things like running a marathon which seem like the logical next step, but whatever you've been avoiding which really could improve your life needs to be a main focus. Step 2 is quitting modern addictions for real life hobbies. Any bad habit you have is almost certainly a modern technological addiction. In the past, people didn't have time for bad habits. They were working all day. There was no phones, there was no Instagram, there was no porn, there was no video games. All of this stuff has been created in the past few years, and it's made people live a much worse quality of life. Everyone knows that these things are bad, but they are the most fun thing in people's life, and so when they quit, they just become bored, and so they pick it up again about a week later. The real way to quit these things is to have real life hobbies that are more fun than the technological addiction, so you don't even have as much energy or capacity to do them. So for example, when you start the gym, that's a 2-hour block of the day where you might work out for an hour, plus the half an hour it takes to get to and from the gym and showering and everything. And for that time, you're not doing bad habits. You might scroll Instagram, but you're not, watching video games, watching porn in the gym. I hope not anyway. So the gym is just one thing, but that only lasts for 2 hours of the day. We need hobbies that take up the entire day, which is doing things in person. So what hobbies can you actually pick up? So the gym we've already stated. You can also do a sport. I do MMA as well as the gym, and both of those things take up at least 2 hours of my day. Now the things that you could do, you already know, you're just too fucking lazy to do them. Everyone knows that you can learn a language in your spare time, but who can actually be asked to do that day after day? You need to find a level of passion and really be driven with the goals that you're setting. For years, I'd occasionally learn a bit of Spanish on Duolingo, and you might learn 1 or 2 words at a time, but then you're not consistent with it and you don't learn much as time goes on. At the start of this year, I set the goal that I was going to become fluent in Spanish, and I started defining my own system of how I was going to learn. I spent hours a day practicing the different tenses and learning loads of new words using Translate and ChatGPT, and learning from shows and mixing it all together. I've then gone to language exchanges in my city, so people will be learning new languages and we will meet up at a bar and we talk about the different languages that we're learning. We practice speaking, so I'll speak Spanish to people that are also learning, and it's a social thing that reinforces you to learn more, so you're better at speaking to people next time you go. I live in England and flights to Spain are literally like £100. It's the same for a lot of places in Europe. So if you learn a language, you can literally take weekend trips or week-long trips and you have such a better time than if you didn't speak the language. There's also been quite a few times I've been speaking with with girls that know Spanish, and it would have been so much better if I was fluent or better at speaking the language. Bit of a missed opportunity there. So this thing of learning a language used to be vague and abstract, and I didn't put in that much effort, but now I know that my life would be so much better with it, and I've really set an intention to make my learning system as efficient as possible. You know the long lists of hobbies that people give you, like learning an instrument? Yeah, you can just mess around every now and then and try and play something on guitar, or you can genuinely try and get good. You can try and start a band. Like, you can actually do this stuff, but you need to be willing to put in time, you need to set your sights high, and you need to be disciplined and consistent. I don't think of learning as discipline anymore because it's genuinely fun, because I know I'm getting closer to my goal. So those hobbies are things that are like learning, basically self-improvement-y hobbies, but there's actual things you can do which are just enjoyment as well. So for example, going for hikes, you can become really into nature just like I am. You can invest in some basic gear like a portable cooker, and a camping backpack and a big coat. You can then go for hikes, you can make fires out in nature, you can grill food out in nature, you can invite people to a barbecue. So you're still learning a skill, but it's something that's just fun and enjoyment, and it's better than scrolling on your phone. When you're out in nature, or at the beach or somewhere like that, you never just want to be on social media. So if you can learn a skill which allows you to be more social, like being able to do a barbecue or something like that, that is really valuable for socializing and being outside, and just another hobby which is better than doing these modern addictions. So now that your day is full of exciting activities, you'll have less energy to do bad stuff, and you don't just have dead time because you want to do those exciting things during the day. However, because things like social media are so addictive, you will still find yourself being pulled towards them when you have downtime, or even when you start your day. So we also want to make those things as hard to do as possible. You have to go case by case with each bad hobby. If it's video games for you, you can literally sell your console and just not play it anymore. It takes a level of willpower and discipline to just be like, I'm going to sell it, but once you actually do, it will be out of your mind because it won't be an option that you're able to play video games. Something like Instagram is trickier because your phone is always in your pocket, and you're only a couple of clicks away from just downloading the app again. So you have to really put intention into making everything as hard as possible. My system for Instagram is that I unfollowed loads of people, so I only follow about 100 people. I muted every person that I follow for their stories and their posts. I then follow accounts that post blank images so that my feed doesn't have the explore page on it, it just has these colours, and if I go onto it, it's just not satisfying at all. I then don't have Instagram installed, I have the Meta Business Suite. This allows me to see messages, so I'm never worried about have I missed a message because I have an app where I can see messages without all the bullshit and posts and everything like that. Yeah, so for any bad habit, you just have to make it more difficult to do, and you won't miss these things in your life. You'll come up with so many copes to say this thing is productive or that you need this thing in your life, but that means that that thing owns you, it controls you, and you want a life where you're free and you dictate your own freedom. So that's step 2. Get real life hobbies that are actually fun and make bad habits, modern technological addictions, harder to do. Step number 3 is community. Being reinforced by other people that are on the same path as you, that enjoy the same things. So basically all these self-improvement habits and hobbies, we're going to make them as fun as possible, but making them more social and just the most upgraded version, rather than kind of lone wolf grinding alone sort of mentality. So for the gym, you're going to go to the nicest gym in your area, not just a budget pure gym or gym group, one that has facilities like pool or sauna. It's got a more tight-knit community, it's more social. If you're learning an instrument, you're going to go to gigs and open mic nights and speak to musicians there. Rather than obsoletely trying to get better at this thing a little bit, you're going to make this part of your life. You're really going to get into the culture. You're going to become excited and enamored by it. If you even find the gym boring, you can go to powerlifting and strongman gyms, which might seem intimidating, but everyone there is going to be extremely welcoming because they're like spreading their sport, sharing their interests, and they're above you, so that's going to make them feel good. So community, your friends, you're just going to invite them to do the stuff that you're going to do. If you've got a friend to go to the gym with, you're going to enjoy it more, and you're going to go more often, and you're going to grow together, and that's a nice social feedback loop. If you want to go to gigs or try out a new class, you guys can go together. Now sometimes your friends just won't want to do this, maybe it's not convenient for their schedule to switch gyms or go to this class or whatever, and you can still go to these things. It's uncomfortable for some because you need social skills if you want to do well in an environment like this, but if you force yourself to do it, you'll be more comfortable in that environment, and you don't need to be some super social outgoing person. You can just genuinely be enjoying the thing, maybe meet 1 or 2 people. Actually going and doing the thing is almost never as scary as it's going to be in your head, and inactivity is one of the worst things you can do. Saying you're going to do something and not doing it, or just doing nothing in general, you're never going to progress like that, you're only going to regress. And just really try and think what's the most social version of the hobby that you can do. If you want to get fitter, you can join a run club. If you want to be outside in nature more, you can join a hiking group. There will be people that you meet in these places that you really get on with, and the conversation is just easy because you're already doing something that you enjoy. Now these people, you want to invite them to do stuff outside of that activity, which is a mutual interest. Say there's someone from your MMA gym that you get on with, you can invite them to watch a UFC fight or an MMA event because you both have that interest. Or you might discuss that you both like nature, and you might plan to go to a nature trail which is nearby. It helps if you already have fun stuff that you're doing, so you should just be doing fun stuff throughout your life anyway that you can invite people to. Or if it's something like you have a barbecue or a hot tub at yours, you can just invite people to do that. So that's a 3-part system, which is better than locking in. Work on your purpose. Swap bad habits for actual fun, real life hobbies. And then get a community and be social with the good habits that you're doing. For more no BS information like this, you can grab my mental health course. It's the first link in the description. Or you can subscribe and watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.